The problems of this theory boil down to why, when, and where. Why would he take the body? Joseph really had no reason. It could not be to prevent the disciples from stealing it. He was a disciple. If he had not been a follower of Christ, he could have produced the body and squelched the whole story. When could he have taken it? Joseph was a devout Jew, and would not have broken the Sabbath, especially at Passover. At night, because of the torches, he would have been seen. The day after the Sabbath there was a Roman guard posted in front of the tomb. The following morning the woman came by dawn. There was simply no opportunity. And if he had taken it, where did he put it? The body was never found, even though almost 2 months elapsed before the disciples began preaching. This was plenty of time to expose a fraud if there was one. There is no motive, opportunity, or method to support this theory, and it gives no explanation of the appearances of Christ in his resurrected body. This theory doesn't even make sense. If they had the body, why did they try to accuse the disciples of stealing it? Besides, they could have stopped the resurrection story cold by simply bringing the body forth. Instead, they continually resisted the apostles' teaching, but never attempted to refute it. Again, this theory does not explain the resurrection appearances in that very same physical body. This does not fit with what we know about the lives of these men. These were not dishonest men. They all taught that honesty was a great virtue. Peter later denied the charge that they followed cleverly devised tales. Neither were they clever men trying to make Christ's predictions come true. On the night of his arrest, they did not even understand that he was going to die, let alone be raised. They did not know what to think when they first saw the empty tomb. They hid because they were afraid of the Jews. Are these the kind of men who would boldly steal the body from a heavily guarded tomb? If this hypothesis were true, then we must also believe that the apostles persisted in this hoax and died for what they knew to be false. Some say that in the 2 months after Jesus' death he appeared spiritually to some of the disciples, and they preached the resurrection based on this. But they never visited the tomb to see if his body was there. But the Gospels clearly say that several people went to the tomb. First, the woman who came to finish burial procedures saw the stone rolled away in the empty tomb. John was next to reach their grave site, and he saw the burial clothes. He was followed by Peter, who entered the tomb and saw the same, plus a face cloth, a strip wrapped around the head to keep the jaw closed, lying separately also. There is no reason to believe that the guards did not make a thorough search of the tomb before they reported to the Jewish leaders. These guards would not have agreed to lie if they could have offered some reasonable explanation for the unusual disappearance of the body. This theory cannot explain the resurrection appearances, the transformation of the disciples, or the mass conversions of people only a few weeks later. Some suggest that the women went to the wrong tomb, saw it empty, and thought he had risen. This is too simplistic. If it was so dark, why did Mary think Jesus was the gardener? Why did Peter and John make the same mistake in broad daylight? And especially, why didn't the authorities just go to the right tomb and show the body? That would have easily disproved all claims to a resurrection. This theory offers no explanation of the physical appearances of Jesus in the same material body of flesh and bones that had been crucified.